It is 4:04 and we're going live. So I wanted to show you first of all how to do the pick six wonder technique that we learnt yesterday and Friday night, sorry. Was it Thursday night? Friday night? Oh, I forget. What's today? Saturday. I don't even know with this lockdown what day it is. So first thing you need to do is you can ask me for the instructions and I can send them to you. Pardon me. So I'm hoping that you can see everything here. I'll just tilt that there. Okay. And then what we're going to do, we'll just see if anyone is actually going to be joining us. So that way I can keep track of any comments as we go. Whoops. That's a reflect on there. Alrighty, so we have 2 people here. So if you can make a comment or send a heart or do something. I think it's Leonie. Hello, Leonie. How are you? And Natasha. Hi, Natasha. And all right, so this is our 6 pick wonder cutting guide. So what I'm going to do is bring this in, and I'm not sure that this seems to be, I think that's right. All right, so what we have is a 6x6 piece of designer series paper, and you're going to cut it at these particular measurements. So I'm going to walk this through so you can actually see. So what I've picked is 6 of the in color designer series paper. So each piece of paper, what you want to do is cut it exactly the same way. So let's go through the paper first. So take your trimmer. You're going to bring your 6x6 in. The first card you're going to set measurement is 9 centimeters. So cut off 9 centimeters. Thing to be aware of with your designer series paper is just check the orientation of it when we go to do the layouts so that you can turn it around. So cut all the paper the same way. So I've cut the 9 centimeters. Now I'm going to come in and cut at 7 centimeters. That 7 centimeter one, pop it to the side now. The same piece, pick up and come in at 2 centimeters. That is now our second piece. And then our third piece, you're going to leave as is. Okay, on the next piece, so this is now 6.2 centimeters. We're going to bring it in and cut 4.5. Put it to the side. Cut another 4.5. Put it to the side. Then we have this piece of designer series paper left, and what you're going to do, or what I did to create the slot, you need to take your piece and I'm just folding it over gently to create the 2 crease marks so I know where I'm cutting. So now I'm actually just going to make a slit in the middle so it now creates that. Put that to the side. Okay, next piece of designer series paper, do the same thing again. Bring it in, cut it at 9 centimeters. Turn it round, cut it at 7 centimeters. Done. Same way, cut at 2 centimeters. Third piece is done. Take the other piece, bring it in, 4.5 centimeters. Done. 4.5 centimeters. Done. And then our last piece, just folding it over so I've got a rough gauge of where I'm actually cutting it. You're cutting it basically about 3.1 centimeters. So it's sort of, you know, in half of your designer series paper. Okay. Next piece, same thing again. So 9 centimeters, turn it round, 7 centimeters, piece done. Next piece, cutting it 2 centimeters off that piece. That's done. Then the next piece is done. Take the next bit, put it in, cut it at 4.5 centimeters. Next piece, 4.5 centimeters. Next piece, gently fold, create a crease, gently fold, create the crease, and snip. You can measure it, it's entirely up to you. So now I've made that one. Next piece, in, cut at 9 centimeters, turn it round, cut at 7 centimeters. Take 2 centimeters off that one. That goes there, that goes there. And then next piece, cutting at 4.5 centimeters. Done. 4.5 centimeters. Done. And create your fold, fold, and there I have my slit. Okay, next piece, 9 centimeters, 7 centimeters, keeping it the same direction, 2 centimeters, that piece is done. Next, 4.5, 4.5, and then cut in. Last piece, 6 by 6 centimeters. So 9 centimeters, 7 centimeters, 2 centimeters, and that one is done. 4.5 centimeters, 4.5 centimeters. All right, so the next piece, so folding it over, just create a little score mark, a little fold mark in it so you know where you're actually cutting. But basically I'm just snipping out so I know where I've got to go to. So it's about midway, it's about 3.1 centimeters. So you'll see there that I've cut that. All right, that is all of our cutting that is to be done there. So hopefully everyone has able to see that. So I'm going to bring these in so that you can see how my 6 by 6 is still a 6 by 6, but I've actually cut it into all of the pieces. So let me see if I get that all onto the camera. There we go. So you'll see there that it all matches back up again, and it's basically my 6 by 6 with a few gaps. So just taking your middle square, cutting to the middle like so. All right, so I'm not sure if anyone is actually joining us with the cutting at the moment. I can't see any comments, so let's keep going. So we have all of our pieces now. What you're going to do with your pieces is now create the cards. If you've got your base cards, I didn't want everyone to pick the same sort of base cards because everyone you might want to change your mind with what you're doing. Okay, so this card we're going to start off with first is these squares. So let's just pop all of our other bits out of the way. Let me just move those. All right, so we're going to start off with these bits here. And the first thing you need to do is take 2 pieces with your slits in it. You're going to join it. I'm going to turn it around so I don't have the same. I'll have to pick a different piece because this is where your orientation and your patterns are going to clash if you've got the same piece going together. So I want something totally different with this one. So I've got 2 different pieces with 2 different patterns on this one. So you're going to go in together and they'll match up. So you've now made a square like that. Grab your Tombow glue or your snail, and what you do, just line those up, lift it up carefully and pop a little bit of glue just under here. So that now matches that square. You're going to then take this piece and fold it over to meet the edge here. So like that. Press that down. All right, turn it round. This is what I did. Lift it up, the yellow, my pale papaya. Press that down, finishing up our square. This time you're going to lift up the opposite side. Press that down. There you have your piece. I'm just going to grab a baby wipe just to get rid of any excess glue. Just pat that. All right, so that is, now I can't, but again, what I've realized is now I have yellow all on one side and pink all on the other side, but that's okay. I'm going with it. All right. So that is our first lot of paper. You're going to do that with every single one of these. So let's go again. So take your designer series paper, slide it in. I'm actually going to rotate that and see if that makes any difference. Not really. Just seeing whether or not that actually made. Maybe I've. So if I go like that again, I'm going to end up with all the same. That's okay. Let's just go with it. Alrighty, so pop a bit of glue. Maybe if I turn it over, I wonder if I do that before I turn the glue over. Ah, that might work. Let's do that. Alright, so I'm going to go with a bit of glue. And then I'm going to go match up my square. Fold over my green piece. Glue it down. There we go. Do the same on the other side. Glue it down. Press and glue that side down. All right. So there we have that. Yeah, it doesn't make any difference. All right. So last one. Take it in. Match it up, glue it down, fold our piece back over, glue that, turn this around, glue this side, fold over. Got a little bit of wiggle room with that Tombow, so that does make it an advantage. So I'm getting 4 different patterns actually showing up. So you can use any designer series paper with this. Okay. Oops, glue that. All right, so we have our 3 that we've got now. You can then go ahead and grab a base card. So I'm just going to go basic black for this. And what I'm going to do is you can put your paper You can put your squares of paper on an angle, straight, whichever you prefer. And then what you do is add your happy birthday. You can also now add some ribbon to this as well. You can tuck some ribbon underneath it. You can so lay your ribbon underneath and glue it down, or you can leave it plain, whichever you like. And I'm going to show you now a variation of one that I have done. So there's this one, and this is actually on the white, and this is using the Hostess Designer Series paper that you can earn for free with a qualifying order as part of your Stampin' Rewards. So you can get that and then putting the happy birthday across here. I would raise it up with some dimensionals. So you're going to make 3 of these cards. So again, you can pop some ribbon underneath it. You might choose to, I'll just grab some ribbon just to show you what you might like to do. This is just some ribbon that I've got here. So you might like to fold the ribbon over and tuck it underneath there like so. You might wish to do a zigzag. It's entirely up to you what you want to do with your ribbon. So maybe even a zigzag across there of ribbon. I'm going to show you, pardon me, what I have done with another card that I did with this one. So this is using the In Good Taste Designer Series paper. So let me just move all that out of the way. So using the In Good Taste Designer Series paper, same concept, doing everything exactly the same. So you're folding it over, making your squares, and then sticking it down. This time though, what I have done is added a layer of very vanilla cardstock, but I have embossed it with the bark, I think that one's called, that's the bark, embossing folder. So you can pop that down. So I've just added some dimensionals to my words. I punched a hole and added some twine that I've just linked into here. This one I have just punched out for these words, and I've used the banner punch to create those. So you can do that. So that's some variations on that one. All right. So let's move on to the next card. So the next card, what you're going to do is, let me just get all of these bits out of the way. So let's start off with this one. So what you're going to do is take your pieces of paper that are 6.2 centimeters by 4.5 centimeters, 4.5 centimeters, 4.5. All right. What you want to do is put 3 pieces together. Now I've just realized they're all the same pattern, so I will need to actually change that up a little bit. I don't want all 3 pieces together. Maybe the pink might look nice. So you're going to mix and match your pieces of Designer Series paper. So that will be one card. This might be a second card. Then you've got the third card. All right, so you've got lots of different ways that you can actually mix and match. So you're going to make 4 of these cards, and I'm going to show you how simple they are to go together. So you take 3 pieces of your Designer Series paper and you just stick them down randomly onto your base card. That's as easy as that is. Then you can add your ribbon. So again, you can add a little bit of color to this ribbon or use some black and white. So black ribbon, maybe you want to color some ribbon, and then you're going to add your words on there. So something really simple, really plain, but that's all you need to do for these. So there's 4 of these cards. Now I'll show you a variation of what I've done with this one. Oops. Did I just drop something? There we go. All right. So, a variation on that one is I've made this one. So this is actually using the In Good Taste Designer Series paper, a simple punch with Happy Birthday and attaching the twine to it. Another way to do it, if you don't want to do it that way, is just make it all straight. So I have added a layer of Very Vanilla with this. I felt that the Whisper White was a little too bright for it. So something just to be aware of when you are actually making them. Just pick your colours. So again, that's just a variation on it, but it's the same concept, okay? Do I have another one? Yes. So again, a variation, what I did with this concept is I put 4 pieces and I have actually just staggered them, added simple words, added a hole punch with some twine in it. So you can do that. All right, so that is our first 2 cards. So you've got your diamonds, you can do it with a layer. This is a black and white one that I have done with the layer. So it's Whisper White base card, a layer of black, and our Designer Series paper from the Hostess set. So that's that one. This one is the black base card, layer of white, and again, our Designer Series paper folded. That's the simple one that we started with, where you're just adding the words, add some ribbon, add a bit of bling as well. All right, so on to our next card. All right, let me get these in order. Oh, I can show you this one too. That is another one I did with basic, it's grey granite base card and a layer of Whisper White. And then I've used the In Good Taste Designer Series paper to create those 4 squares. So there's that option there as well. So you've got lots of different ways that we can do. So that is our first 2 cards that we have now created. Okay, pop them out of the way. All right. Now our next card. What you're going to do is take this piece. This piece of card is 7 centimeters by 9 centimeters. What you do with this, let me grab my base card. So again, I'm using basic black for this. Start with your basic black. You're going to glue down your Designer Series paper. Glue down another piece of Designer Series paper, different pattern, different color. Sorry, my apologies. I think I've used the wrong one. Hang on, go back. What am I doing? Go back. I think I've used the wrong one for the belly. Scrap that. Start again. You don't want the big pieces. You want the other little pieces. You want the 6.2 centimeters by 9 centimeter pieces. You also need your 2 centimeters by 9 centimeter pieces. All right, so you got the 2 of those. Now, add the Designer Series paper down the bottom. I'm going to flip that and put that there. And then using another piece of Designer Series paper, again with a different pattern, that gets glued down onto there. So then all you need to do is add your words to it. So this is card number 3. So it is your 6.2 centimeters by 9 centimeters, putting 2 and then putting the little 2 centimeter by 9 centimeter belly band across there. So that is that card. So I'm going to show you a couple of samples of what to do with that one. So what I have done, I used my Whisper White, or Basic White now it's called, cardstock. It's a base layer. I've added the 2 pieces of Hostess Designer Series paper, followed by the another piece across the center. So let me just pop that out the way. So then what I would do is I've stamped some words already, and it's "You are totally loved," because I'm right into the turtle at the moment. So, and I needed to make a card for a 4-year-old friend. So I'm going to put "You are totally loved" down the bottom there. And then I'm going to stick, I have coloured in a turtle already. So let me just grab some dimensionals to raise him up. And now what I'm going to do is pop a little turtle walking along the top there. So that is that card. So you have your 2 pieces of Designer Series paper and a piece of Designer Series paper as your belly band going across there. And now to show you some variations of it. So this one just has to have words to it. So you can have just simple happy birthday to it, maybe some ribbon onto there as well. So again, you can take your take a piece of black ribbon or a piece of coloured ribbon. You can glue those bits together and hang them off the top there and hang your words over the top just to add a little bit of extra something to it. You can always add your words down the bottom, but I felt there on the top. You can also turn the card sideways if you wanted. So there's no hard and fast rule with this, so just go with it. All right, so then there's that one. There's that variation. And I've got another variation which I did step up a little bit differently. So this one, sorry, this one, Designer Series paper, Designer Series paper, and Designer Series paper, but I've added a layer of Very Vanilla onto my grey granite cardstock. Then what I did was add some Very Vanilla and stamp some of the little tufts of grass in here, and I've just very gently added some aqua painter with some old olive grass in here, and then I have coloured in the turtle using the blends. For the blends I have used the light grey and the dark grey to create it, and then stamped on here the back of his shell, so that's another option as well. And then another variation turning it the other direction is this one. So Designer Series paper here, here, and down here. And then again, some Very Vanilla with the tufts of grass and a little tiny turtle. Look how cute he is. So then what you get is I've made the words, have stapled just on there some of the grey granite ribbon, a layer of Very Vanilla around it, and it's on a piece of early espresso cardstock. So that's how the variation works with the belly band of that one. All right, so that is the other card. All right, so let me just move all of this out of the way. So for our next card, what you want to do is you're going to take your larger piece now, okay? So you're going to now take the 7 centimetre by 9 centimetre Designer Series paper. You're going to take 2 pieces of it. Now, what we were shown on the Pick 6 Wonder technique. So what you do here is you're going to take your basic black, your base color card. You're going to glue onto here the one piece of your Designer Series paper. With your other piece of Designer Series paper, what you're going to do is just gently sort of fold it over a little bit, and now cut out a heart. Now if this was Christmas, you could change it and do a star or something else. So now you have some rubbish, or if you want to, you can actually bring it back in and double side it and glue it back down. But the idea is then that you had a heart, and then what you could do if you wanted is, again, free cut out. I don't know how well this is going to look, but I really wasn't a fan of it, but everyone does it differently. So anyway, we'll see how it goes. So you glue your piece of designer series paper, you glue down your heart, and then you can turn it over and glue the opposite pattern. I personally wasn't a fan of this card. I felt it die cuts would be actually better to use for it. So that would be my only tip with this one, is actually take your other piece of designer series paper and maybe cut out some layers of that. Again, like I said, I'm not really a fan of that, but I did do it, and this was the colors that it turned out. So I have a piece of Whisper White base card, my designer series paper. The advantage to, let me just grab a drink, hang on. So the advantage to this black and white is when I did cut out my heart, I was left with the reverse side, which actually looked not too bad on that. So then I was thinking with this is then putting "You Are Totally Loved" again there, and I was thinking along the lines of fussy cutting out another little turtle. So let me just do that. So holding the paper still and just going around. Sorry, I just got to move it out of the way so I can see around the camera. So there we go there. Chop off my excess, going around, just leaving a little bit of a border. Just come in there and do around his neck a bit. All right. And then I was thinking, like, maybe a little turtle might look kind of cute, just sitting in there too. Maybe some ribbon, haven't decided, but that's another little option to do with him. Or maybe the little turtle may be out there. Yep. So again, like I said, with the heart, your choice to cut it up if you wish. But again, I wasn't a fan of it. So I'm going to show you what I actually did do with some of them, because, like I said, I've got a tickle in my throat. So that's that card. All right. So for the variation of what I did with it was actually just take two pieces, stick it down to your base card. That's all I did. So if you don't want that funny looking heart thing, that's okay. You can go ahead and do the heart if you like, but if you don't, you can actually just change it, and you can even just mix up the paper. It doesn't have to be that direction at all. I would again swap it over so two patterns aren't facing the same direction. So you can mix it up, do it that way, and I'll just show you my variations on that. So this one, I've added the paper and I've turned the card portrait-wise. Two pieces of designer series paper. I have used a label punch, and to create this, what I have done is cut another piece of the label and added the tufts of grass, coloured it in using very, very small amount of water, and then I've stuck that down to the label punch so that it still matches up with the same design, but it's only just half the way. I just wanted a little bit on there. I didn't want a full piece of very vanilla. Yeah. And then, so that's all you need to do with that. Stick that down after you've done all of the grass, and then I've just cut out a turtle. I didn't colour this turtle in. I've just left him plain, and then I've got the happy belated birthday. Sorry, I was so slow. So there's that. And then another variation on it was this one, same sort of idea, but I've just brought in some of the Night of Navy for that. Coloured the grass with the very vanilla, stuck it to the base of the label and added a little baby turtle to that. So there's that. So that is card number 4, or the hearts, whichever you like. Then we've got the other cards, which is just our designer series paper. So there's that. And then we have our belly band cards. So we've got those as well. And that's another one. I've got to just put some words on that one as well. And then you have the one with the diamonds as well, and again you can add an additional layer to it. The additional layer is about 10 about 10 centimeters or 9.5 centimeters, depending on how wide you want that layer to be. So for this one, pardon me, this one is 10 centimeters by 14.25 centimeters, and this one is 9.5 centimeters by about 14 or 13.5 centimeters. So just play around with that and see how wide you want it, just to make it all lined up. So there's that one. All right, now for our last card, what you're going to do, let me just see if I can find my sample of this one. Oh no, I don't think I have that one. That's right. Okay, so for this one, I wasn't a fan of this design either. So what I have done is actually changed it. So let me just get rid of a bit of that. Move this out of the way. All right. So with this one, what they wanted you to do, and you can still do this, this is by all means, it's your cards, but I just didn't particularly like it. So you take your 2 centimeters by 9 centimeter pieces, and you're going to cut them in half. You can fold them and then cut them so you get the right size, up to you. And then what the idea was that you would lay that cut smaller piece, 3 on this side and 3 down this side. And if you wanted to turn your card, you would have 3 this way or 3 this way. Or 3 that way, 3 that way. I wasn't a fan. I didn't really think much of it, but I did actually like a different idea of just taking some of the leftover pieces, because you are really only left with 3, because you've used 3 for your belly bands, other pieces. So you're only left with 3. So you could cut some additional ones out. So let's turn that. What's on the other side? You're going to have to mix it up a little bit, because otherwise we're going to get stuck with all of the same pattern going the same direction, which for this card, so I would just cut a few extra bits, stagger them on like that, and that will be your other card. And then you could add on to here. I do actually have a little turtle ready to go, so he could probably even go on to there. But this is sort of what the concept was going to look like. So you're going to take strips of your designer series paper. You can add a label, add your turtles, a little bit of tuft of grass that you've coloured in, bit of bling, and some words. So there's that idea. I preferred this than using the 6 little bits of paper for this card. So just something to think of, something that you might like to do differently. And of course, then you can also decorate the inside of the card. So a liner of Whisper White cardstock, a strip of designer series paper as well, and just stamping the word happy birthday. I'd stamp first, obviously, before you stick that down in case it goes crooked or something happens. But that's a piece about 10 centimeters by 14 3/4, I think it is, or 14 1/4. On the top of my head, let me just, what is that? That's, yeah, 14 1/4 it is. So just something to think of. Then you can add a little bit of ribbon to your card as well. So I preferred this idea rather than cutting the little strips. So just, you can even make it up and down and around and about. Don't overthink it. Maybe the two greens together, swap that over, whatever. So go on with it, and then you're not really going to see it, just sort of have them, you can even have them straight, like you could even have the 5 pieces going straight there, and then add your border. You can have them going up and down like that. I just think that looked a little bit nicer than having the little squarey bits, but that's just me. So with the turtle, when you're coming to colour it in, stamp it in your Memento ink, then colour it all over with the lighter blend, then come back with the dark and just do your shady bits that would create the shadow. So maybe a little bit on his head, under his neck, his feet, and along the base of the shell. So you're imagining that the sun is coming down onto the turtle. So then you use the lighter nib end of your blend to come back in and circle around to blend those bits out. So that's how I have done all of my turtles. So then you also have the option of stamping your turtle and stamping again on some designer series paper. Then stamp your words. So I'm going to show you this card in our next Fun Folds video tutorial on my YouTube channel. So that will be another way Fun Folds that we're going to do. So that is our live for today. Again, if you wish the instructions, just let me know. I'm more than happy to email them to you so that you can now create some of these awesome cards. So I've had fun. I hope you've had fun today as well, and I will catch you later. Okay, bye.